Hi, my name is Sam Hess. I'm an agronomist with Countryside Co-op. Today we're out here in a cornfield. I just wanted to talk about boron and its role in corn this year. And so as most of you people have seen, it's been a pretty wet year. And so what's happening with the boron in our cornfields this year is boron is a mobile nutrient in the soil. And so with all the rain we've been having, if there's any boron in your soil, it can actually leach or wash away from all the rain we've been having. And so when that happens, our corn plants can't take up the boron that they need for their growth and reproduction. And so the trend that we've been seeing is this year, all the tissue samples that have been sent in with some of the labs that we work with, they have been 85% deficient on all of the samples that they have analyzed this year. And so when you compare that to an average year, the data shows over the last 7 years, boron has been between 55 and 75% deficient. And so this year, being that it's 85%, it's actually quite a bit more deficient just from all the rain that we've had. So I'm just going to talk about a little bit with the corn plant and how it affects the corn and a couple strategies how we can fix that. So when we look at the corn plant here, what the boron does in the corn plant is it is immobile in the corn plant until the corn gets to its reproductive stages. And so when you look at the corn here, you can see all the different silks, and each one of these silks is attached to a kernel that is developing. And so when the boron is in the plant, when the corn starts going into its reproductive mode, it mobilizes that boron and helps create the tassel up at the top, the kernel development, and the silks themselves. It makes all of those parts more healthy and work better. And also a big role in boron is that when it mobilizes to those reproductive parts of the corn plant, it leaves the other tissue of the corn plant. So when you look at the leaves like this and the stalk, it's leaving those areas and going to the reproductive parts of the corn plant. And so if your corn plants are deficient in boron, when it leaves, it's going to make the leaf tissue and the stalks deficient. And so boron plays a big role in photosynthesis. And so when your boron is leaving your other parts of your plant and going to the reproductive parts, it's leaving your corn plant not as efficient as it would be otherwise photosynthesizing. So that can just lead to lower grain quality, test weight, and overall yield later in the season if your corn plant isn't photosynthesizing the way it should be. And so one thing that what we can do to try to correct this, if we know that this might be a potential problem, if we know we've had a lot of rain or something like that, or if you have low organic matter soils where there might not be as much natural boron out there, what we can do is if, like for example, in this field, this grower was planning a fungicide application on this corn. And what works really well is he wanted to plan that fungicide just before the corn was going to start tasseling. And so because he was already going to be going across the field for the fungicide, he added some Maxin boron to his tank mixture just to help the corn plant get a little extra boron before the corn started going into that reproductive mode. And so if you can add a little bit of boron, if you're already going across the field for, different applications, whether it's fungicide or insecticide or you name it, adding that boron right before tassel can be an awesome way to give your corn plant a little bit of boost before it goes into that reproductive stage and starts developing those kernels. So just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about boron and its role in corn and just trends that we've been seeing this season and how to correct it. So thank you and have a good day.